and this is Mask Off Podcast. And as you see, I'm flying solo tonight. I'm flying solo, and I just wanted to say thank you all for coming. This is another episode of Mask Off Podcast. You know, we here every Friday at 9 p.m. This episode is episode 121. Teach the truth. Teach the truth. Teach the truth. And a lot of people may not know where that comes from, but it's a saying, teach the truth to the young black youth. That's a little hip hop for you. So I'm here doing what I do. I'm by myself tonight. No young bull and the OG, he has some things to do. So I'm flying solo. And on this episode, I have four guests. I'm telling you, I got four special guests. I got Miss Crystal Kelly, Taylor Gamble, Mr. Gene Siant, Mr. Carl McDonald. And what we're talking about today is the impact of the youth today and how uh, you can be you could be a leader, you could be a mentor, but it's important for them to have those factors in your life. So that's what we touching on today, man. And what I want to do, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start today. I'm gonna give you some big words from Big Tone. Big words from Big Tone. Normally this would be a motivational minute, but as I do, if you have not been following, I decided to do my own little mini segment at the top of the show. Big words from Big Tone. So today's big words from Big Tone is always remember that you can't do things by yourself. In order for you to do what you need to do in life, you have to be able to be a team player, number one, and also rely on people in the clutch. So I just wanted to say clutch is important. Pick and choose who to rely on in the clutch, and also be able to count on people when the chips are down. So these are big words from Big Tone. And that is that, that is that. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time because we got a lot of people here tonight. So I want to bring in two gentlemen that really, really made an impact in my life, in my adult life, my young adult life, as I transitioned on to my college lifestyle. It was two people that I ran across that impacted me in a way that, I really needed it at that moment. At that time in my life, I didn't really have no mentor or no leadership. I was just me, and I'm gonna tell you this quick story before I bring them in. When I went to Defiance, Ohio, which is Defiance College. When I went to Defiance College, I was thinking it was me against the world. It was Detroit versus everybody. And I went there for the football team. And I kid you not, my attitude was like, if anybody say anything out of me out of whack, they can get the rhythm. And long story short, I had got recruited to play football and we was doing tour days. And one of the biggest things that I couldn't stand was running during tour days. So I remember this one situation where, you know, I'm gonna explain this. Well, if you were recruited to come to Defiance, you were recruited for athletics. And most of the black people that was there was for athletics. And majority of the people that was on the football team, it was sprinkled people from up north, but majority of the people was from I say from Florida, somewhere in Florida. I don't know why Florida, but it was Florida. And so I remember this particular day, we doing tour days, and I was so fucking tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I sat down on my helmet. So these guys, the whole time before the end, I wasn't speaking to nobody. You said hi. I wasn't like super horrible, but I wasn't really in a I like everybody mode. Anyway, so to make the long story short, what happened was I'm sitting on my helmet, and one of the guys from Florida say to me, hey, hey, boy, and they had they got a strong Southern dialect that I really didn't understand at the time. Hey, boy, you need to get up, and we about to do this running thing. I said, what? Who you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, I'm already on tip. So I made a big old scene, and Lord and behold, I ended up making everybody run, and everybody was hot at me. And I just remember that was the start of how things were either going to go good or either going to go bad for me at my time at Defiance College. But these two gentlemen I'm about to bring in, they kind of eased that over to where it was like, you know, you no. So, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Um, Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr.
Well,
Carl
man.
McDaniel. This is Mr. Gene Sion. You've seen Mr. Sion, ladies and gentlemen, a gazillion times on the show. I just want to introduce him, my brother. So you guys remember that situation very clear. I'm sure y'all do.
Yeah, nobody like running, Tony. Nobody like running. If we had to run extra because you didn't want to run at all and then cause everybody to run, it's not a good place to be.
Yeah, yeah. So
Beautiful
I
thing
made the
about Down
block.
Patrol, man.
Yeah, I made the block hot in most cases. What people would say, and I, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for coming on. It's a pleasure. I know you guys got busy lives, and I wanted to take a moment out to acknowledge the mentors and the leaders that helped influence my life the way it is today and shape me and mold me today. And to be honest, you guys are a year or two older than me, and you guys experienced a lot at Defiance before I got there. Carl is particularly Carl. Carl was like he he was he, I had inspired to be like this guy on a different level because he knew how to articulate himself in a manner that I kind of looked up to, and he was the Black Action Student Association president, which impacted me enough to want to become the vice president. I don't even know how I became the vice president, but can you touch on,
Voluntold, man.
huh?
I said you were voluntold.
Can you tell me about let's talk to all right, a lot of people don't know about my college background. I went to Defiance College in Defiance, Ohio, which is a rural college in Ohio. Very small college, very small community. Can you guys tell me about what was some of the factors that led you guys to that place in particular? And how did you come from Florida to Ohio of all places?
Go first, see?
Gene, you the big dog, man. I'll let you start it off.
Here you go. For me, I actually was supposed to be going to, I think it was Benedict, some school in Kentucky was where I was supposed to be going. And I had told them I was going there and all that. And they were supposed to be in the safety, was supposed to be going there. And like they just kind of went quiet. I didn't hear anything. And so Coach Tompkin called. He was because he was actually originally from Florida too. And so, he came to the house, talked to my moms. Like, oh, it's a black coach. All right, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I ain't know much. And, he not sold me, but he talked to me about just the whole, getting out of Florida, going somewhere. I'll be there. I'll be your coach. You know what I mean? Look out. And like my mom was sold on that, and then Pasconda came down. I think I met Pasconda once. And and that was it, man. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. I'll try it out. And they say the rest is history.
I
Excuse
know
me.
for me, we had no, that's all right, brother. I For me, I think one of the biggest things was we had an excellent recruiter, Joe Tompkins.
Yeah.
he had this exceptional package that we would hear about all the time. The package, the package. But I think ideally what it was that it's someone that you've kind of familiarized yourself with. He's from
Yeah.
Florida. He played football here, had a tremendous career, and really believed in Defiance College, man. So that was one
Yeah.
of the things again that kind of drew me through it. And it was just saying, all right, man, I wanted to get the opportunity to go ahead and play ball, and this looks like a good situation for me.
Yeah.
That's super dope, man. So before I got there, what were some of the things that you guys experienced that that showed y'all, hey, look, I need to bond together because this is a different place than home. So I really need to bond together.
I think, man, what happens is that when you hear about Defiance, you see the brochure, and when you get to a certain place, it's gonna catch you like, okay, this is different. We're coming from a big city, man. You know, with Gene from the 305, myself from the 954. We were used to city life, and coming to a rural area, I think, is more of a cultural shock. I think one of the biggest things that I was appreciative of is that I had these brothers from the same city that we can go ahead and bond from. And the thing about that too is that we built other relationships. You say yourself, Tony, from Detroit. We had a lot of brothers, man, from different areas, man, from Michigan, and we all just developed that partnership, man, that brotherhood.
Yeah, I definitely echo that. I'll tell you a funny
Gene,
story. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. Before we got there, they had put you with roommates, right? And my roommate, I don't know, he's supposed to play football, white dude. And so just talk to him on the phone. Hey, you gonna bring this? Yeah, I'm gonna bring that. Cool. And he didn't know I was black. Um, so got to there, got in. I was the first one there. Got in a room, whatever. Parents left, and he came in with his family, whatever. I think by the end of that day, he was out of the room. I was in the room with myself. Uh, so it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I know.
wow.
Going to that place itself, man, it really opened my eyes. If you guys remember, I was so shell shocked. I was anti-white, everything. Uh, I used to have like, what was it, Frederick Douglass or Malcolm X on my door and in my window. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was kind of scared to adjust to a different environment. And one of the things that you get taught quick is how to adapt to different environments. And I had to realize that, there's other people out here other than somebody that look like you. Because coming from Detroit, man, in the '90s, only time I saw white people was when I would go to um, the Kmart. I don't know if y'all remember Kmart back in the day, but Kmart was really heavy on 9 Mile and Harper. That's like outside the city limits. The city limits was covered by it was divided between 8 Mile. As you heard the movie, it literally divided the city up. People north of 8 Mile was in the suburbs. South of 8 Mile, 8 Mile was like the urban environment. So I will only see people that do not look like me either downtown. Well, not really even downtown, because at that time downtown today wasn't downtown previously. You know what I mean? So it would only be if I crossed 8 Mile. And it was a big culture shock, and I had to learn and how to adapt. And part of the way I learned how to adapt was leaning on these two brothers, and they kind of steered me in a direction of leadership. So when we talking about leadership, what were some of the things that you guys remember that was very pivotal in connecting with the next generation that came in behind you guys?
I can start off, but Gene, I think one of the things that helped me out was having those older, those seniors, those veteran fellas that came from the same cloth, same came from Florida, came from just a similar type of area that we were raised in, and put us aside to say, listen, everything looks a little bit different, but you got to understand that this is a great opportunity for you to go ahead and grow, and for you to be able to go ahead and kind of teach people about yourself, teach people about where you come from. And I thought that was a succession when it came to us building a bond. I remember one story about when I came. You know, when you're younger, man, as far as when you articulate, when you talk, you come over there, you cussing up a storm, man. And one of the brothers said, "Listen, is everything that you're saying a cuss word? Think about what you say, man, because if you continue to go ahead and go onto this path, it's not gonna be the right way, man. Try to go ahead and challenge yourself to be able to go ahead and talk without saying this or that." And that was like one of those first eye-opening moments for me, man. And that's one of the things again I just kind of carried on in your life.
Yeah, I would say, Carl, the thing about Carl, man, Carl probably was one of the first cats that really created a bridge. I don't know if Carl realizes or not. You was the first one to create a bridge, man, because you I don't know, man. You was like that first one that stepped in and started just like, hey, come on, you guys, and come on, you guys, and create that bridge. I was always amazed by that, man.
I have to agree. What was some of the programs we had there that worked specifically for us? And I don't even know if it's some today, but can you speak to how did you become like president of BASA, Black Action Student Association, and what that actually meant to you at that time?
I was given that opportunity, or even just presented with the opportunity, when one of our counselors that was there was trying to go ahead and build a bond. She knew that when we came in, if I remember correctly, Gene, it was like what, 30 or 40 people from
Mm-hmm.
recruits, all
Mm-hmm.
from from majority from Florida, but then we had a couple of brothers from other areas as well. And that was like a big recruiting class, but also a big culture shock for Defiance, man. I don't know if they were ready for that. You got guys over there with dreads, and that's what I said, bringing different cultures to an area that wasn't ready for that. But when I say not ready, we were able to go ahead and blend in that culture, man. I think being able to go ahead and teach people about personalities, where we're from, and that was very helpful. But I mean, that was one of the things that kind of brought me through it. What's that? That's one of the old pictures, man.
You can't see it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The boss picture.
Listen, man, that's lifelong, man. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Big Swole, Big
I had a
Swole.
little more hair. I had a little more hair that time. I had a little more hair.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, man. How about you, Gene? I know you were an active member at BASA. What made you want to get down?
Man, if one of us did, like in everything else, if one of us did, we all did. That actually was kind of our mantra, right? If one person went out, we all went out. If one person stayed in, we all stayed in. So when I forgot the lady's name, Miss Smart, that was her name, wasn't it? Miss Smart, that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
original lady. Yeah. And so again, once Carl said, "Hey, I'm doing this," we followed, man. Because again, man, like I said, Carl was a bridge, man. Carl led us down a lot of great paths, man. A lot of things that we probably wouldn't have done. Uh, Working with those different churches, I mean, it was always, you know, once they got Carl, and I think Miss Smart knew that too. That she's like, man, Carl's that piece, right? So she knew once she got Carl involved, and Carl was like, okay, let's do this, fellas. We all come, we'd all come, because we all trusted Carl. So, now again, like salute and big ups on that, man.
And
Listen, man, I,
it's
I
crazy how
appreciate
that.
that, man. It's funny that everything comes full circle.
Yeah, and it's crazy how I was gonna say it's crazy how that worked because your group followed Carl, our group followed Gene. So everything Gene did, every movement Gene made, like Tomar, myself, Derek, we all even to this day, it's like if Black Lion ain't moving, we ain't moving with him. You know what I mean? And it's that's the way it's been. It's almost like, you know, that leadership. You seek out that leadership, and some people just have it, and some people don't. You know, and uh, this subject is very important. First of all, we got kids going back to school, right? We got kids going back to school, whether you go in an urban setting or a suburban setting. You need somebody to look after, or you need somebody to rely on, somebody to be able to relate to. So I thought it was important that we talk about mentorship and leadership, because when you come in an environment that's new to you, you either do like I do, you take on the world by yourself and end up failing miserably, or you seek help and you learn to rely on other people for guidance and support. So I thought it was critical that we tap into our leadership spirit and talk about how that moment transcended for us, coming into environments that was different but was able to bond together and build something that's even magical today. These brothers we still keep in contact today, and because of that mentorship, that leadership, we were able to transcend and keep keep the love pushing, man. Keep the love pushing. Go ahead, Carl. You just want to say something?
No. Listen, I agree wholeheartedly, man. I think we live to tell the tale, man, because we have a story where, you know, you have friends that are here and we still keep connected. We've had friends that we've lost. But at the end of the day, man, I always love when you guys get an opportunity to come. You haven't come yet, Tony, but as far as
I know
Gene
she
and the
did.
rest of the crew come down, and I always say we got to go ahead and we only live once, right? We got to go ahead and I always say, let's go ahead and do it, but I don't react, because Gene is the one that usually puts it together. But that's to sum it up, to be able to go ahead and get together, man, because anytime that we get together, man, it's like we're in school again. We start talking about old times, we start vibing, we start talking about Bassa, and we like little kids again, man. And it's just, you laugh because it's been so many years since we went to college. But
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
brothers
dude.
do, man.
Yeah, what are we like 20? How many years? How many years we been out of college now?
Man, listen, but
20 some
it's
years
been
now,
20
haven't we?
plus years, man. 22
Yeah.
years for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
These are
Man,
lifelong friendships, man, that
that's
we,
ridiculous.
you know what I mean, lifelong friendships that, you know, it went beyond just this my friend. This is my brother, you know what I mean? And the school we went to, we had no fraternities, no sororities that really spoke for us. So that brotherhood that we created, that was our fraternity. You know, we knew from the gate, hey, look, if he rock with him, I rock with him. If they rock with her, because we had females too, she protected by us. You know, we had Maria on last week, and that was the energy. Like, yo, they with us. This is us. We was pretty much a band of brothers, you know, and that's how it is. You know, so I urge every young person that's going into a new situation, whether it be college, uh, whether it be high school, whatever, you know, build a brotherhood, build a foundation, because it'll transcend that moment, you know, especially if it's worth it. It'll transcend that moment. So, fellas, I'm not gonna hold you. I got some fantastic women on, and I want to get them on and get them talking about some things in the city that they're doing. But I just wanted to make sure I had you guys on just to touch a little bit. Before we go off though, you know, let's see what's popping in the comments. Oh, I got DJ Touch in the building. Shout out to DJ Touch. Yeah, DJ Touch is in the building. Shout out to DJ Touch. DJ Touch is always in the building. Uh, she said, got the fam in the house, Jean Crystal. She said, yeah, recruited because you didn't get to the NBA because of failing Spanish grade in high school. Yeah. I was supposed to go to the NBA. I tell her that all the time. Black Lion, okay. She says, "You always get emotional, Big Tone." I have to. Haven't met Carl, but welcome, welcome. Um, she said. Also, she said, "Uh oh, somebody in trouble in the background." That must have been Gene's spot. But
Yeah, the dog, man. I'm about to throw him out in this. He about to get thrown in this garage if he keep all this barking up. That's for sure.
don't throw that dog out, man.
Keeping it
I'm gonna
real.
throw him. I'm gonna throw him. No offense, Peter.
Full disclaimer.
Yeah. So what we gonna do, man? I'm gonna bring I want to bring the ladies on, but before the ladies come on, do you guys have any shout outs y'all want to give to anybody out there, or whatever? Anything y'all want to say before I release you guys back to the world?
Listen, man, my biggest shout out is that I want to shout you out, Tony, man, for giving us an opportunity to connect because we don't get an opportunity to do that as much. I'm proud of you, man. You got
Oh,
this amazing platform, so continue to go ahead and do what you do, man, and speak the gospel. Big Gene, my brother, love you, man, and it's always good seeing you. And I'm looking forward to you to come, both of you guys, to come down to Florida so I can see you.
no doubt, man.
Nah, I definitely got to echo that, man. I keep smiling, man, because seeing you guys, man, everything that's happened. It just kind of pops back in my head, man. The different different stages, all those other things, man. But yeah, Tone, real proud of you on doing this, man. Not only just connecting us, but just connecting, all the different worlds together, bro. So that's real cool, man. And again, yeah, Carl, I'll let you know when I come down there, for a weekend or something, and then we'll link up. We gotta do a Defiance trip, man. We gotta go up there and see these boys.
That's
You're
something we
right.
gotta. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
hear you,
something we
bro.
got. That's something we got to talk about in the future. I love you, brothers. Y'all know what y'all mean to me, man. Boss President, you know what it is. You know what it do. You know what I'm saying? Black Lion, you know what it's hitting for. Oh, really stand up. Salute both of you, brothers. Carl, you always welcome to come back on anytime. Anytime you hit the show, you fam. You fam from the gate, but you always welcome to come back, my brother. You know what it do when it do. All right. So on that note, gentlemen, I'm gonna let y'all breathe easy, and I'll get at y'all in a minute. Peace out. Yeah, man. I had to tell you, man, it's good reminiscing. Good reminiscing. Good reminiscing. Now I want to bring on two dynamic ladies that's doing that thing in the city, that's making an impact, that's doing phenomenal work in the city, man. I feel like I'm talking too much, and it's the ladies edition now, so I'm gonna let the ladies come in, and I'm gonna introduce them to you, and we just gonna go from there. To my right is Miss Crystal Kelly, and up under us is Miss Down for the Business, getting everything done, Miss Taylor Gamble. Um, how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing
Everybody
Thanks
great.
for having us.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate you noticing my multitasking. I was doing it without realizing I was doing it. And I've had.
Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Maybe I can give you guys a little bit of time to introduce who you are, what you do, or what you have done in the past in working with the youth today or the youth yesterday, and how you've impacted them in some kind of way. Let's start from up top, Miss Kelly. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Crystal, also known as Crystal Kelly, I guess. And currently I'm the brand development manager for Remy Martin. So I manage Remy Martin's portfolio in Michigan, and making sure the brand is visible, making sure the brand is everybody's aware of all of our brands, but to emphasize what I've done as far as like the youth. I've been teaching the youth for about 20 years now, which is crazy because when I was younger, I thought 20 years sounded like a long, long time ago. But now I can say I actually have done something for 20 years. So I've been teaching kids performing arts, mostly dance. Hey, cousin. Mostly dance and performing arts and entrepreneurship has been an emphasis for me too. Um, just basically after school programming and mentorship, just mentoring children in general. So and all of the DPS, a lot of DPS schools and charter schools, and um, as the COVID kind of put a damper on my programming. But when I do get back to it, I would like to add travel into what I'm doing. So I want to expose children to travel because that's like a passion of mine, traveling. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
That is so super dope. I'm so proud of you. And just the fact that you've been able to do stuff for over 20 years, man, the impact of you over 20 something years, that is so dope, man. Like, and a lot of people don't really look at service work as something that's meaningful. You know what I mean? But the fact that you're impacting lives, somebody's life you're impacting, whether you teaching them how to do dance, whether you teaching them to stay in school, what to do in school, those are tools that, especially the kids today, they need. They're not
Yeah,
really getting because of the fact that funding
yeah,
always gets cut short with programs like that, and it's always the arts get taken out when they want to cut back something in the school
yes.
today. So that's a horrible thing, but an awesome thing that you've been doing for 20 something years.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Miss Gamble, can you give us a little bit about you?
Hello. Absolutely. Congratulations on 20 years. I
Thank you.
can't wait.
I just realized it was 20 years just when I said it. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been about 6 years for me. Um, I did not see this part of my life coming, but I'm very grateful for every part of it. Um, I have had the opportunity of mentoring young women in the Belleville School District since 2016. I have their intermediate school, their middle school, which is seventh and eighth grade, and their high school. I'm running three programs, and I've been blessed because COVID did not slow me down. I was frankly very surprised, but I think that the school district just noticed that the kids needed COVID did some the COVID did some damage. You know, the pandemic and quarantine did some damage. So I think that they definitely at least in this school district, decided to prioritize the mental health for the kids, and I had already been doing it. So I've been blessed to be able to consistently mentor probably about 60 girls across the three schools. And my mission statement is to remind generations of young women of their ability to achieve their success through education and self awareness, and my content is based on SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound goals. We work on behavior modification, so teaching them what little things they can do in their schedule that get them from saying what they want to do to actually doing it. You know, every kid's goal is usually that they want to get all A's in school, and we really applaud that. But the way to get there is to start by finishing your homework an hour a day. You know, studying two times a day. That's start there. Start small. So I work with the girls on that. We incentivize the goals because I feel like it's not fair to tell children the lie that they should just have to do it because adults do it because we get paid. We get paid to get
I never
up
even thought
and
about
do what we
that.
do.
Just do the work.
Yeah,
Do the
that's
work.
our incentive. Yeah. Like everybody tells the kids like you gotta do this because you gotta do this and they be like, but y'all get paid. One day I'm like, you know what? You're right. So
Yeah.
incentivizing them for setting the goal and accomplishing a goal, and these aren't like small 1 day goals for the most part. A lot of them want to set, higher test scores. They do want to do their homework. They do want to be more respectful and more kind. And so um, we take the time to break that down. Um, it's after school programming as well for the high schoolers and the sixth graders, but it just looks like a process where I take college mentors and they come into teach the high schoolers about college and career prep topics. And then the high schoolers teach the sixth graders a modified version of what they're learning. So that looks like time management, organization, affirmation, self reflection. For my high schoolers, it's budgeting because that's a real thing that nobody discusses. And it's the one skill that they're going to use whether they go to college or not. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, you're going to need to know how to budget. So that's one of the things that I've taken a priority to kind of stepping in and doing. And it's been really dope. Middle schoolers are really hilarious and they keep you on your toes, and you have to be graced. You got to be graced to work with middle schoolers. So
Mhm.
I thank God that I am graced, and they're my little people. I enjoy them more than the adults, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so
Yeah, me too.
So I have a question for maybe both of y'all can answer this. How do you guys uh, connect with, let's just say, DPS or any organization that you target to work with? How do you guys get the opportunity to work with these kids?
Um,
You know,
for me, uh, I think it's been multiple ways. So because I started off teaching because of my background in performing arts, I always got a lot of opportunity. I went to a performing arts high school. That's when I started teaching. I pretty much was just like Taylor's program she had with college. She has with college students going to high school. I was in high school, teaching younger kids, elementary, middle. So I kind of had like a connection, already at a very young age. So I had a lot of reach, people I could reach to. They would reach out to me. But what I did in the more recent years was actually very, I would just walk into schools.
huh?
mm,
I would just walk into schools and I would say, you know, do you guys have funding for this, or is this something that I can just offer your students? If the parents want to, get together and be involved, I would ask them what they had, what they needed. It would be pretty much a discussion in that manner for me. Or I would collaborate with other people with other programs who had programs, and I would be the part of their program they were missing might be performing arts, and I will latch on to that. So it's just been many, many ways that I've come across um, opportunities. So
that's really
How about
dope.
how about you, Miss Gamble?
Mine was a little bit different. It fell in my lap in a really weird way. So I was a student at Eastern Michigan University in 2015, and I had to stop going to school because I had some financial hardship and some mental health that I need to take care of so that I can complete. And after 6 months of not being in school, my thumbs got bored, right? So I started to consider all of these different lessons that I felt like I hadn't been taught. I surveyed some of my friends, and I was putting together this document because I was like, somebody should mentor these kids. Like, somebody should teach these kids all of these things that we haven't learned before. And I just so happened to have a friend who was a security guard at one of the schools in Van Buren. And then he was like, hey, come over. I showed him just like you just show a friend. It was nothing, I didn't think anything of it. I think that I wanted him to proofread it, but it wasn't an intention for me to like for me to do anything. But he actually reached out to the social worker at the school that he was working in, and the social worker called me and was like, "We want to do this program."
mhm.
That's so
So it was having the right conversation at the right time. Like
Yeah.
I didn't that was it. And then once I did it the first year, because I think that I made that document in July and I started that September. Once I did it that first year, um, their intermediate school is a fifth and sixth grade. The parents wanted me to follow them to the middle school, which is seventh and eighth grade. So once the parents decided, and one of the parents that I work with, one of the young ladies that I work with, her mother is one of the secretaries at the school. So getting connections to the other locations wasn't difficult because she was like, well, I know that I want my daughter in the program, so I'm gonna talk to these people that I know over here for you and tell them that you need to be a part of this school because it's not fair for the girls to only get half of the lesson because we were only doing a few weeks at a time. So I've been able to kind of grow off of that. I've been doing it in this school district for the last 6 years, and now it's built a consistency where they, as they move, especially in these last, like after the pandemic, a lot of teachers are moving out to different districts. um, as they move out, they're saying, I want you to bring your program here. So it's just been a lot of word of mouth from
Yeah.
the
So what?
teachers.
So what's some of the challenges you guys have faced in this process of number one? This is entrepreneurship at its finest that I'm hearing. That a lot, you know what I mean? Like this, what this is, it's entrepreneurship. You know, it's a different level of entrepreneurship that people don't talk about because when you create a curriculum, you know, you're doing this. You're not getting backed by anybody. You know what I'm saying? So you're like an independent contractor. Am I right,
Hmm.
ladies? So
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
as an independent contractor, you're basically an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
what's some of the red tape that you guys have ran across that has stopped you from, I guess, impacting? Let's just say, I know COVID was one of the things that was a major issue. Other than COVID, what's some of the red tape that has transpired that has stopped you guys from making an impact in which you guys really would have liked to make an impact? In the past, in the future. Let's just go to Crystal. What's some of the things that have stopped you along your line of making an impact to the youth?
Really, the biggest thing that stopped me was, even though like I mentor, I feel like I've mentored a lot for no money at all. When you're trying to make it, when you're trying to do something on a regular and you love it, you still need to get paid, right? So for me, a lot of times it's like them having funding, and then sometimes the parents would pay directly, and then some kids can't pay, and it's just hard for me to, it would be hard for me to maintain my life and then teach the kids at the same time. So I would stop my programming sometimes on my own and then teaching somebody else's, or which I'm still impacting kids no matter what. So it didn't really make me too much of a difference. I didn't mind it, if rather it be my own or someone else's. But a lot of times, it's just really being told by someone else, or knowing where the funding is coming from, or how to get the funding for the programs for the kids. Some schools have it, some schools don't. And that's really been my biggest hurdle. um I researched a lot of everything by myself and did a lot of other things by myself, but the funding part was the biggest thing. What else? I I think I think that was my biggest issue. And I think teaching for other people is actually been pretty good to me. So I don't mind jumping in other people's programs at all, because it is really difficult to do your own. So yeah.
That's what's up. Uh, I'm gonna hit some of these comments so far before we continue on. They just cracking me up, and they all about DJ Touch. Shout out to DJ Touch. DJ Touch is in the building. She said, "That's my cousin." Cousin, yes, Miss Gamble got things to do. Yes, mom played.
Yeah. Thank
She
you.
was asking what steps you need to take to mentor in a school district, and we both kind of covered that. She said, Tink says hi, Crystal.
Hey, Tink.
And she said she's loving Miss Gamble's shirt. Do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you want one, I will let my friend know she is selling them. I wish that I had known, realized that somebody would like that. But yes, this has been the mood. Okay. This has
Yes,
been the mood.
setting boundaries. And
Yes.
you know what? And that's important too. In the day of age where anything goes, there has to be boundaries set. I just watched on the news something so horrific where this guy got out of the car and was shooting at this lady and killed her on the news. And I kept thinking about how we just do anything to each other nowadays. And,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
no boundaries
It's
that are
sad.
set to say this is unacceptable. This will not be tolerated in our community. And we got to take a stand. And that's why I bring it full circle to say I applaud you, ladies, for the things that you are doing and have done. Like I know from experience some of the places Miss Kelly have worked in, and I've worked in those places as well. And just to be in a place like residentials where you impacting young girls and giving them a moment outside of their condition to where they can actually be normalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a big thing. You know what I mean? What's some of your speaking of that, as far as residentials, what's some of your experience with that? I know it's very difficult to work in that environment, let alone be a contractor working in that environment. What's some of the
Yeah.
experiences you had?
Oh, you know what? My biggest issue that I had working in an environment, well, when he says residentials, he means like the girls they actually live in the facilities.
Mm,
So, um, my biggest issue was actually with staff more than it was with the kids. So
Every
the
time.
kids, for me, I really have like a love for children in not a way like, oh, they so cute, but more like I just feel like I understand them. Even when they're at their worst behavior, I feel like I understand them. And I feel like the kids with the worst behavior actually just need you to talk to them like a human being, right? So a lot of times I feel like the staff was my biggest issue. Like a lot of people are not there out of love, they're there out of necessity. So I didn't have any issues with those girls. I really love those girls, even the ones I'm telling you, and I saw some crazy stuff, but
I know.
I
I know
understand.
that place you would see some crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but I understand a lot of them are abused. A lot of them are like they are there due to some of the worst circumstances that you could possibly think of. And so I completely understand. I think of me myself as an adult. I'm like, if I was going through that as an adult, I would be losing my mind too. So it's like you really have to have empathy to work in spaces like that. You have to really humble yourself. You can't be prideful. You can't be have an ego because they're kids. You can never forget that they're children. I don't care if they're 16, 17, 18, But my biggest issue working somewhere like that was is really with staff and not just staff, just the conditions that they live in. Like I have those type of issues. I don't have any issues with the girls because I understand them. Then that's why I actually love teaching the youth is because I know they need somebody like me to look and see like, oh, Miss Crystal, oh, I like your car, or oh, I like your outfit, or oh, and I can have like real life conversations with them. So I don't have any issues with the kids at all.
That's so
And I've
dope.
worked in schools. I worked actually full time. I was a parapro in a school system. I worked at the residential school. I worked in the after school. I worked in I worked with children who have mental disabilities, like real like I've worked with every type of child you can think of. So that stuff never bothers me. And I think that's the only type of person that should work with children. So
Right.
That's so super dope, man.
Right.
That's so super dope, man. Um, we're not gonna stay long tonight, man. I know it's a Friday night, and Miss Gamble is on her multitask game. And I appreciate you ladies coming out and just giving some insight to everybody about the things that you all do. You know what I'm saying? And if no one ever says it, I'm gonna be the first to say it on Mask Off. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And don't stop doing what you're doing. You know, keep connecting with these kids because these young ladies and these young men, they need us the most. You know what I'm saying? And they always will be looking for someone to steer them in a direction. Keep pushing them in a direction that is positive. Just on a side note, I just had one of the young bulls I used to mentor in Philly call me today and say, Mr. Coates, I'm just so happy that you were a part of my life.
Yeah.
That's stuff that you don't see when you in it,
Yep.
but when you get out of it, whether it's 10 years later, you know
Yep.
what I mean? That's an impact on someone's
Yep.
life you made. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So continue
I
to be
just got a text from one of my students too that reminded me, like literally like 3 months ago. And I haven't been her teacher since 2017. And she had my number from back then, and she texted me like, I'm so, I completely understand what I'm saying. Like, it's a great feeling.
hmm Miss Taylor, Miss Kelly, do you guys have anything y'all want to shout out before y'all leave? A shameless plug? Anybody y'all want to say hello to, or anything that y'all doing? Y'all want to
I
shout
mean, I
out?
feel like in the spirit of, like she said, funding, and that being a little bit of a challenge. If you all want to donate to the Cash App for Girls That Rock, that is more than welcome. That is the $, and it's GIRLSTHATROCK. That would be amazing. Everything that I do goes to the kids. Like she said, it's just you. It's a certain type of person. You can't be. Yeah.
It's so
So
dope.
that's my shameless plug. I ain't got no problem with asking for help. It's hard out here.
It's hard out
Yeah,
here.
it is.
And
You are
inflation applies to this too. Like it's real. It's real.
definitely,
I know it's hard. It's like 20 something dollars for a steak. I like steak.
man, life is tough.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for having me on. Wish we could talk longer. I'm sure we could talk all day. Hey to my cousins that are watching. And yeah, thanks. This is great. I'm glad. Now you inspire me to not let my full-time job take over my life and get back to what I love.
Get back to the passion, man. The passion is will always keep you going. Like sitting
Yeah.
around doing a job that you don't like and don't want to really do, it'll burn you out quick.
And
You know what I'm saying?
Taylor, if you ever need any programming for performing arts or anything like that,
Yeah,
let me know. I'm just because I have
absolutely.
my own program that I'm, like I said, I'm open to helping. And
Absolutely. Instagram,
yeah.
Girls That Rock _
Okay.
to follow me.
I
I'll
got
send you
you.
a message because I don't know if I put it in a chat. Yeah, I'm gonna just
Yes,
send it.
ladies.
Yeah,
Link
go
up,
ahead.
ladies. Yeah. Yes. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I don't know if you go out, but I got a lot of going on in the city. If you ever want to come party or anything, either.
Well, my birthday's on the 16th, so
Oh, see,
I'll let you
see, I'm gonna
know.
follow
I'll keep you
you.
posted.
More reason to link up.
Yeah,
So on that note,
girls,
ladies, what you say?
Yes,
You was about to say?
Girls That Rock _
girl. Okay, got it.
On that
All
note,
right.
ladies, we're gonna get up out of here.
All right.
Let's wave goodbye. Everybody that's been looking, check them out. Very dope in the community, things they've been doing. So you know what this is. You know what we're doing. This is Mask Off, episode 121. Teach the truth to the youth. This is Mask Off. We here every Friday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Let's make it do what it do. This is Big Tone. I'm up out.